All right. Well, it doesn't look too bad. Hip Dad. Hello, man. I'm craving Waffle House. Dude, I'm telling you, Waffle House is a good place to be. Nice thing of Waffle House is it's always what you think it's going to be. You never go there because you're looking for something amazing, hoping for the best. It's just kind of a great place to always go. Always pretty dang good. How's everybody doing on Thanksgiving? Hopefully you guys are doing well. Sweet dog, hi. Hi, baby girl. Oh, happy Thanksgiving, Amber. Happy Thanksgiving, Amber. I know this is my very first time ever going live on this channel. This is just kind of a random thing. By the way, I apologize. I'm eating chess pie for any of you who are Southern. Happy Thanksgiving, Chris. Thank you, sir. This is my little sweetie dog. She will be bothering me throughout the entire broadcast because I haven't fed her yet. Huh. Yeah. Because, Daddy, you haven't given me dinner yet. Isn't she cute? Yes, you are. You know you're the cutest, too. And you're spoiled as heck. Hi. Yeah, I just kind of figured I would get on here and do a happy Thanksgiving thing for everybody. I have a whole lot to be thankful for this year. That's for damn sure. It has been a very, very challenging year for me. Those of you who know, for me, outside of my YouTube world, my dad's health situation has been pretty challenging this year. Since December of last year, we've been really dealing with a lot. So in addition to my normal things that I'm dealing with in my professional life and my personal life, that's been quite a bit more stressful. So fortunately, my mother, my aunt, my wonderful lady friend, and myself and my dad actually got to get together today for Thanksgiving. So that was really, really nice. Didn't go as positively as we hoped it would, but at least we got to share a meal together and, take some pictures and make some more memories. So I know I'm fortunate when it comes to that. I know a lot of people that are my age or younger than me, have lost parents already. I'm fortunate to have both of mine still here. And I'm doing the best I can to enjoy them as long as I possibly can. So what initially made me want to do this was the fact that actually a person commented on my personal Facebook page about the fact that Thanksgiving Eve is one of the biggest drinking holidays of the year. And I made a comment about the fact that most of my friends now are old and boring and fat and sit at home and don't go out and, party like we used to. But it got me thinking that, Thanksgiving oftentimes is not going to be a great holiday for a lot of people. Unfortunately, they're, not able to go out and do stuff or they don't have friends and family around like they would like to have. So you have us. We're here. We're all friends and family. And as we continue to grow this community on here, I really hope you guys will understand that I'm very much invested in you, and I appreciate you investing in me in developing this whole community here that we're doing. So that's really the point of this. That's why I wanted to host a live stream and let people just kind of get on and say happy Thanksgiving to each other and talk, and we can chit chat about whatever we want to talk about, food or cars or beverages or the weather or whatever it is. Any of you guys Southern enough to eat chess pie? More importantly, what's in your chess pie? Thank you, Hip Dad. I appreciate that. It's life situation's tough. That's for sure. Never had chess pie, huh? Yeah. Don't blame yourself. Most people have never had chess pie. Most people have never even heard of chess pie. God, it's so good. But it will give you a diabetic issue if you don't already have it. Greetings from Oregon. Thank you, Roston, for so much of your efforts to help out the automotive YouTube community. This old hack appreciates you for sure. Thanksgiving. Hey, well, thank you very much. I appreciate being appreciated. I've been doing this YouTube thing for literally almost a decade now. It'll be 10 years in the spring. And it has changed my life for sure. It's changed our business for sure. I never in a million years would have imagined that this is what I would do for a living, I guess. When I was in high school and the guidance counselor asked you, what do you want to be? What do you want to do when you grow up? Not that I really grew up, but I never would have, being a YouTuber was not a thing. So, you never know what your life is going to do, and you never know where your life is going to be. I had an entire career in IT before all of the stuff that you guys have seen from me. So I've lived a number of lives so far. So what kind of pie? This is chess pie, which you can look it up on the internet if you'd like. Chess, CHESS. Think of it like kind of like pecan pie or pecan pie for those of us of the proper persuasion, just without the pecans. So it's essentially like sugar and a little bit of carbs, and that's it. There's nothing like in the filling. It's just amazing. Horrible for you, but it's very simple. Doesn't require any kind of crazy stuff. Very, very simple product. It's for my whole family's from the South. We're born and bred Southern. And it's my aunt made it for me. So my dad specifically requested chess pie. He hasn't had any in forever, and my aunt made it, so I got to have it. Let me see here. What was the verdict of the AMC 360 turbo blower, or how about a nice Whipple? I think it's going to be a centrifugal supercharger. I hate saying that word. I think that makes the most sense. I have not talked to the guys at Torque Storm yet. I'm going to try to have a conversation with them this coming week, about what's available, because I know they have an entire accessory drive kit with air conditioning that also has the centrifugal blower on it. And at 8 pounds of boost, if you figure 8 pounds should give me about a 50% gain on power. So I need to make 450 horsepower or so, 475, which is certainly doable. On 9.5 to 1 compression with aluminum heads in a rowdy camshaft, it's certainly doable. So I think that's going to be the way we do it. A Whipple would be cool. I don't know that anybody makes a Whipple setup for that, and I don't really want to get involved in the whole like having a custom fabricate stuff for that car. Not a fabricator. It's not what I do. So I would have to rely on other people to be able to get that done. And that's, if you've been following me for a long time, this channel, as well as on the Lucor channel, the relying on other people and the availability of other people and other capabilities is a tricky thing for me. I have a lot of projects, probably too many projects. But the thing that really trips me up is the fact that I can't control when we get something done or when we don't get something done. And it can be difficult for me to find the time to work on my own stuff if we have customers' projects torn apart on the lifts and I can't work on my own stuff. So like tomorrow we have a Dodge with a whole front end removed out of it. The whole front differential's destroyed. And then we've got a Chevy with a transmission pulled out of it that's completely torn apart. So I can't get to that. There's another vehicle that's torn off on the other rack. We've got the Cuda in the front, one of the front racks. We got a Falcon project on one of the front racks. We got a Jeep project on one of the front racks. We got a Lotus project on one of the racks. So the only rack I could possibly use tomorrow would be the alignment rack. And I don't know if I can get on the alignment rack. So it's tricky. So I want to stay away from anything that's going to require me to do any kind of like custom stuff that I can't do myself easily. If it requires somebody else to do, it's a little bit tricky for me. And that's, as far as YouTube advice goes, some of you probably know that I've started a second, a tertiary, I guess would be a side channel that's for automotive YouTube education to try to kind of pass along a lot of the experience that I have. And that is one of the things I will talk about in the future is if you're making a YouTube channel, make it something that you can control the production of, that you can make sure that you get progress done on. One of the biggest things you're going to see on my channel, and I'm sure a ton of you have seen this already, is the fact that I get started on something and then I can't finish it. And 99% of the time, that's because I'm either relying on something that I can't control or somebody else that I can't control. And that makes things a little bit more tricky. If you can keep it down to like you're doing the work at your house, in your garage, on your lift, with your tools, it makes it easier. So anyway, long answer to that short conversation. William, we had Thai food tonight. I don't know that I've ever had much Thai food. I don't eat fruits or vegetables. You guys probably don't know that about me, but I don't. I eat starches and proteins, and that's it. My entire life, I've never eaten fruits or vegetables. And I know Thai food has a lot of vegetables in it. Yes, promise you this food is really, or this pie is really good, but you eat it in really, really small bits. Like you eat it in very small chunks because it's so unbelievably unhealthy for you. Like this is probably an entire cup of sugar in one slice of pie, just so you understand. That's very bad for you, but man, is it good. I mean, it's sugar. How can it be bad? Glenn's Hot Rod Garage, sir. Good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving. Glad to see you here. John Green, I would like to see the charger being fixed. John, don't talk too loud. She's literally right there. She's editing a video for her own YouTube channel, literally on the other side of the screen. So,
content creator life.
Shh. The thing I would ask is, which charger would you like to see fixed? The one that's at the shop, that's the green one that you guys know about, or the GLHS charger that's in the garage behind the house? Both of which need fixed. Yeah. What car did you take your driver's test in? Now, there's a question. I took my driver's test in a 1996 960 Volvo that my dad had. He had bought brand new at Kempthorne Motors in Canton, Ohio. And it was the easiest driver's test you've ever seen in your life. I was in North Carolina at the time, and everything's a little easier down there. And I swung into the BM. We went to the BMV for my driver's test. We went out and did the road test, and it was literally like driving around a little bit. He drove me into a residential area and wanted me to do a 3-point turn on a 2-lane, residential road with kind of some side parking. So it's maybe like 2.5 lanes wide. And he wanted me to do a 3-point turn. So I pulled over to the side of the road to the curb, and I cranked the wheel all the way to the left, and I pressed the throttle, and I went, and I did a 1-point turn. And the state highway patrolman who was issuing the test looked at me and went, well, I wasn't expecting that. Good job. And we drove back, and that was pretty much my driver's ed. That was my driver's test. But I drove all kinds of stuff before that. I've been driving since I was very, very young. I grew up on motorcycles, and then I got rid of them all before I died when I turned 16. But I learned how to drive on a 1964 940 Volvo 122S B18, which I technically still do have. If it's been in the background of a couple of different videos. And that's the car I learned how to drive stick in. That's the car I learned more or less how to drive in. And it was a great time. I love that car, and eventually it will get its own attention for sure. So thanks for asking that question. That's a story I haven't ever told on camera. We need to share some IT career stories sometime. At 35 years in the IT world. Yeah, there are things about the IT world I miss, namely the money. But I hated it. I was good at it. I wasn't great at it, but I was good at it. And I made a pile of money at it. My problem was it wasn't very fulfilling. I did it. I would get up and, go do what I needed to do. And there's a lot of days where I wouldn't see or talk to another human being. And I hated that. I'm a real social creature. I like to talk, which you've probably already noticed. There's the only thing I really miss about the IT side of things is the money. Otherwise, not really so much. Yes, spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. Absolutely. Especially when the spoonful of sugar is pie form. It's even better. Joe, thank you, sir. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Glad to see you here. AMC for the win. I got to say, I was late coming to the AMC world, and the AMC people have been incredible to me, have adopted me over the years, and I could not be prouder to be part of the AMC community. I have owned all sorts of different interesting vehicles, and I have never met another community that is as welcoming as the AMC community. Like literally never. There's nobody else out there that's been as welcoming and supportive as the AMC community is. It's been, and I love all you guys the same, but AMC people are just better. So just saying. Was that a Mercury Capri in your yard I seen the other day on your YouTube videos with no doors in it? That would be the blue one that was sitting in the backyard that nobody has seen. And you have very sharp eyes, sir, that you caught that. So yes, that is a Ford Capri, not a Mercury Capri. It was a Ford Capri imported by Ford of Europe to the United States. But yes, and that is for a, not to give away some surprises, but we have some of you may know this already. We have a Ford Capri race car that we bought from Junkyard Digs a number of years ago that has been sitting in storage for a number of years because we needed to cut the nose off of another car and section that on there or replace the entire chassis. And we have had a dickens of a time finding a clean Ford Capri donor vehicle. And we happen to have a good friend, Mr. Norm of Team Blitz. I don't think he's probably on here this evening, but he's our Capri parts supplier. And he happened to have a race car shell that he let us buy from him to be able to hopefully bring that Capri race car back to life at some point in time. So good eye on that. I'm impressed that you caught that. You're the first person that's mentioned anything about that. So, and happy Thanksgiving to you as well, Jeff. Centrifugal or turbo? Boost is boost. I agree with you, Joe. I agree with you. But centrifugal is going to be the way I'm going to go for a number of reasons. Boost is boost, yes. However, centrifugal superchargers or centrifugal turbochargers are a very linear power band. You just spin it faster and it makes more power. Whereas turbo kind of doesn't happen and then it all happens. You can play with that a little bit, but generally speaking, that turbo lag is still a thing. Whereas the supercharger setup is just a linear power band and it just keeps making more boost the more you spin it. So it's usually a little bit more controllable, which is why you see so many people in the race car world that are going pro charger versus turbo, because you don't have that, things go crazy kind of situation. And I really don't want to kill myself in an AMC Spirit and become a Spirit. And that car is going to be a nightmare with 500, 600, 700 horsepower in it anyway. So that's the plan. And packaging wise, I think it's going to be easier because of the way that it's going to be belt driven off the front. And then just running exhaust the way that it normally is with headers. I don't have to worry about trying to pump exhaust forward and over to a turbo and then back from the turbo down to where the exhaust is going to go out the back of the car. Cause I'm not a fender exit kind of guy. Not my thing, especially on a street car. So that's kind of the way. And it seems like, I believe TorqueStorm has a whole kit. So I can have all brand new accessories, power steering, alternator, air conditioning, as well as the supercharger. So I think that's the route we're going to go. So it's just $6,000, which is, fine. I've got an extra $6,000 sitting around here somewhere. Do you own Lucor or does Rich? Rich owns Lucor. Rich is Richard Lucor. He is the sole proprietor of Lucor Automotive. And he has owned it since it's ever been Lucor Automotive. Rich and I became connected a very long time ago at this point in time when I ran an Advanced Auto Parts store that actually serviced his shop. This was back 15 years ago, something like that. Yeah, 15 years ago, probably at this point in time. And I sold him parts. And that's how he and I got in contact. And then at one point in time, his service writer, Dave, who you guys probably have never seen or talked to, unless you call the shop, he's the guy that answers the phone, was going on vacation and he needed somebody to run the front office of his shop. And I was retired at the time. And he was like, hey, can you come in and run my store for a while? And I was like, yeah, sure. Why not? I can do it. Never done it before, but sure, I can do it. So that's how Rich and I went from being that to whatever we are now, our symbiotic relationship that we have these days. You guys mind if I pour a beverage, by the way? I want to ask before I do. I know drinking on camera can be something that people are a little uncomfortable with. Michael, happy Turkey Day, folks. Michael, happy Turkey Day to you. Hip Dad, Volvo, wow, tank. Yeah, dude. So my dad used to work for Volvo Truck. I've been into Volvos my entire life, like my entire life. So we've had all kinds of Volvos, PV 544s, 122Ss, 1800 Volvo coupe and wagon, 240s, 740s, 940s, 960s. Yeah, all the way up to the last one we owned, the newest one we owned was a 96 960, which was a great car. I got to drive that a bit when I was growing up. Fantastic tank of a car and very comfortable. But then when Ford got involved with all that, we kind of stopped buying Ford or Volvos at that point in time. I love the old school stuff that doesn't require a lot of sensors, that literally, runs on. Literally, it'll run on anything. That generation of Volvos, you just can't kill them. Everything pre-Ford, you just can't kill them. So I've got 250,000 miles on my 940 Volvo wagon that's sitting in the backyard, and all it needs is a seal replaced in the transmission, and then the car's totally drivable again. So we're Volvo folks for sure. Happy Thanksgiving. Hey, thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much. That's not something you guys have to do. I do appreciate the money dollars. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well, sir. Thank you very much for dropping in. I'm glad you have folks to be there with and party with. So good for you. Have a great evening if you haven't already left. Thank you very much, sir. I much appreciate it. Took mine in London. Let's see here. Oh, my chat disconnected and reconnected, so hopefully I didn't miss anything here. Let's see. I think I'll join you, Chris. Great. Thank you. Irish Outlaw Garage. Jay, how you doing, sir? Happy Thanksgiving. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. You probably don't care if I have a beverage. It got you thinking of pie now. Dude, I'm telling you. Now, I don't know how well pie goes with whiskey, but we're going to find out. Bourbon, excuse me. Same difference. Just pie, man. I'm telling you where it's at. Look it up. Doesn't require any fruit juices, by the way. It's all the stuff you got in your I guarantee you got everything other than pie crust sitting in your cabinets that you can make it.
Flour, eggs,
sugar, flour, eggs,
and cornmeal is the
That's
basics, and vanilla.
Yeah. Right. It's simple.
Yep.
Tonight we're going to go with some Eagle Rare off the bar. I was kind of not sure what I wanted to go with, but Eagle Rare is always a good choice, I believe. We're not going to get too aggressive with this. Ooh, I don't have to work tomorrow. I'm going to get a little more aggressive. Cheers, boys. Happy Thanksgiving. I'll be all right. Let's see here. Oh, it already smells great.
I'm just going to say hi.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. This is Katrina.
73 Charger chick.
You guys have never met her, I don't believe. You've never probably seen her on this channel.
Nope.
Nope, never. Woo! Oh, yeah. Yeah, buddy. I recently talked her into starting her own YouTube channel to help her have a constructive outlet for her creativeness. And it's going really, really well. I'm very excited for it. It's really fun to be able to celebrate other people's successes. If you don't know me other than what you've seen on the internets, I am not a gatekeeping kind of guy. I am very much somebody who wants to watch other people succeed and do everything I possibly can to help them succeed, whether or not that's just rah-rah siskumba, whether that's passing along knowledge, whether that's whatever it is. That's just who I am. So it's really fun for me to be able to see other people learn from mistakes and experiences and, trials and tribulations and expenses that I've had, and succeed. And Katrina is doing fantastically well. I'm not at all going to be jealous about the fact that her channel is currently growing faster than my channel is growing, but that's okay. Yeah, they are pricey. I've been planning out a build for my 68 AMX, almost thinking a high compression E85 setup. Yeah, dude, like, listen, first off, props on having a 68 AMX. I have wanted a first generation AMX for a long time now, and I really want one. At some point in time, I will probably own one. They're just expensive. And what's really terrible for me is the fact that, like, I kind of want to buy one that doesn't have a drivetrain in it. I want a nice body that I don't have to do paint and body and floors and doors and all that kind of stuff with. But I want to be able to build my own drivetrain for it, which is really hard to find. And I would want to put a 390 or 401 in it, if I was honest. And I there will be a 401 build in my future. I have a line on one that I just have to go buy. But when I build a 401, it's going to be super expensive, and it's going to go into a really nice car. It's not going to be something that I put in a barely put together 1979 AMX or something along those lines. It's going to go in like a really cherry first generation real AMX. So I get it. And the high compression thing with the 85, like, I joke about it all the time. The E85 isn't pump gas, but I get it. I totally understand it. Like, it's poor man's race gas. It gives you the same kind of ability to run race gas, but it's not $10 a gallon. And you can get it out of a pump in most places if you live in the Midwest. So I get it. You can run a whole crap load of compression, a whole crap load of timing, just as long as your fuel is good, and make sure you test it before you give it a bunch more beans. Robert McVeigh himself. Uncle Bob, is that you? Happy Thanksgiving, sir. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you. I guess you have the rest of the week off. Should be probably in the shop working tomorrow. Austin, what is it? What is it that you do in that place where you work? That, sir, is an excellent question.
You're a transponder.
Yeah, I am. We don't know that. The answer is we don't know. There's a lot of jokes about it, but I'm a gopher. We discussed that. I go for this and I go for that. I'm a highly paid parts runner. But essentially, I handle the marketing for the business, all of the project planning, and I would kind of call it white glove customer stuff. So beyond the normal day-to-day stuff, I'm involved in project planning and project management with the larger stuff that we do in the shop. That's basically what I do. And I spend a large portion of my life nowadays doing YouTube stuff, to the point where, like, our marketing has basically become entirely just doing YouTube and this stuff, to the point where we literally, like, we have so much work to do that we turn work away, unfortunately. But there's only so much we can do. And you don't want to promise something that you're going to get done and then not be able to do it. So, we've gotten to the point where we have a hell of a waiting list on a lot of stuff. We can get kind of normal stuff in and out. And you'll see Billy from Street Racing Channel. He's bringing his Nova over on Tuesday of this coming week, to get all sorted out with all of his brand new front suspension components. I'm not up on their videos. I'm not sure what Street Racing Channel's put on camera yet, but he's got a whole bunch of new stuff on the Nova. And then they're going to go beat some people up for Christmas. He's going down to Christmas tree drags with Cletus McFarland's thing. So he's going down there with the Nova, and we're going to make sure that it's all squared away and ready to rock and roll. So, but that's what I do. I basically, I assist anything that it is that Rich needs me to do, or anybody else in the business needs me to do, whether that's run the desk, whether that's go pay bills, whether that's go pick up parts, whether that's go to events, whether that's whatever it is. That's what I do. I do all the things that Rich doesn't want to do. So that's it. That's what I do. John Green, I love your channel. It is so real. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. That's been for me the biggest outlet. Is I want to be able to be real honest with you guys, and I don't want to give you any of the bullshit. I probably shouldn't have said that on a live stream, but I don't want to give you any of the flowery stuff. Like, this is just life as it is, man. This is a car guy that works at a car shop that likes cars and spends way too much money on car stuff, like you guys probably do. It's just real stuff. I won't be too flowery. I mean, I have the gift of the gab, so I'm naturally able to be like that. But I try to be as real as I possibly can be. So I'm glad you appreciate that. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Anthony, happy Thanksgiving, sir. Mike R, hey, hello. Happy Thanksgiving. Look up quarters for a 74 Javelin. Wow, stay the rusty driver for fiberglass filled over. Yeah, dude. You know, that's I mean, you're a fellow AMC nutball, so you understand, like, and you're kind of a nutball on a lot of different things as well, kind of very similar to me, where you like things that are weird, that are not like the normal, like, oh, look, I have a 68 Chevelle, or like, you know, whatever, 71 Camaro, or a Mustang of whatever generation, where you could just buy parts. You can just get parts. Everybody remakes them. That doesn't exist in the AMC world. You have to either find a donor vehicle, make the part, or you don't get to have it. So, you know, that's the world that we live in, unfortunately. I always say her when you picked up the Plymouth GT. Oh, yeah. You saw her very briefly when we were when she tried to get it started on the trailer. Reason, by the way, that she couldn't get it started and running on the trailer is the transponder in the key is super finicky, and it separates from the key itself, and that car will basically refuse to start whenever it just decides to want to. So it'll brrr and then shut off because it kicks the security on. So that was why she couldn't get the car to start. But yes, and technically speaking, that car is for her, though she's probably never going to drive it might drive it as a PT Cruiser, but it's a donor vehicle for her GLHS Charger that's in the garage behind the house. And yes, you're right. You pay a lot of attention, William. Thank you very much. Yes, she was with me in the seat pickup for the Pinto, which I still haven't gotten done yet. That's still sitting in a box at the shop. If you haven't seen that, recently Rich tore down the AMC 304 that came in our AMC powered V8 powered wood chipper that we bought out of Michigan a couple of months ago. And he utilized my seat box for a table. And that's basically been all of the excitement that seat has seen so far. It's still sitting in the box. Eventually I'll get to it. My dream car is a 62 Catalina. Not a bad dream car, sir. Not a bad dream car. I still have the 401 we talked about at the Mopar show 2 years ago. Oh, we need to probably talk. I need to get past some expenses right now. Life is real expensive right now. But if it's still sitting there, we need to probably talk, because I know the AMC world would like to see more of that AMC goodness. And Uncle Bob, if you're still in the live stream, if you see here, there's people that want it over here. There's people that want that AMC. They want to see that AMC content. Let's make it happen. A real nasty 401 would be pretty cool and unique. Just saying. We're going to have to squeeze it into the production schedule. 6% recycled. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Good to see you. Yeah, the life of a hot rodder. We get it. Yeah, that's the best part about all this stuff is all I do is just the same thing most of you guys do. If you're not content creators yourself, we do the same shit. It's the same passion. It's the same sickness. It's all the same everything. I just happen to put my stupidity on the internet for you guys to watch and share in. But otherwise, you're the same people. We're the same guy. You have the same problems I do. You have your eyes are too big for your stomach. You think you've got plenty of time and plenty of budget to work on 17 different project cars, and you end up, before you know it, with a whole house full of cars and projects out the wazoo. And we're the same person. I just literally put my stuff on the internet. So that's the life of a hot rodder for sure. Sounds like a good plan. We have some real nice projects around, along with plenty of parts. You might want to take a trip to Arkansas. I don't mind taking a trip to Arkansas. I've been in Arkansas a couple of times. I could probably go out and see Alex Taylor, although she's probably never home. I guess Nick actually just moved out there as well. So what part of Arkansas are you from? Also good food in Arkansas, by the way. Also, really pretty state that most people never really ever get to experience. Arkansas is a pretty unique city, or pretty unique state that most people never give any love to, which is sad, or ever visit. For some reason, I love 1 year only or unobtainium crap. Yeah, that's a sickness, my friend. It is. It means you can never, ever find easy to replace parts. So, yeah, Bob McVeigh, I see a yes there. Does that mean that we need to build a 401, Bob? Is that what that means? I got a line on one. The world would love to see a 401. Now, all right. So let's put this to the crowd. If you were to see some random idiots on the internet build a 401, how would you like to see it built? You want to see kind of a stock build? Do you want to see a best combination of OEM parts build? Do you want to see a balls out aluminum headed, load up the parts cannon and fire at it kind of build? How would you want to see that done? Because a 401 to me, like the 360 is a pretty common motor. Like they're in all kinds of things. They were in full-size cars. They were in trucks. They were in Jeeps. They were in everything. AMC built everything with those things. Farm implements. I don't feel bad about beating up a 360 or bastardizing a 360 or doing whatever I want to it because it's not really very valuable. But a 401 is a whole different situation. Those are super rare. And if I was entrusted with a 401 and I was able to build one, I would have to do proper justice to it. It would have to come with really good parts. And that would be something I would really kind of have a deep conversation with a lot of the AMC people that I know, because I would like their input on that. And that's one of the things that, like, I don't know if you guys see this about me, if you ever run into me at a car show or whatever, but I'm totally comfortable being the spokesperson, I guess, or the poster child, I guess would be another way to say that, of whatever it is. I'm fine with that. I realize that I'm in a really unique position, and I straddle some very interesting businesses and personal situations, so that I can do a lot of things that a lot of people can't. So I want to make sure that I'm doing it the right way. So I don't know. That's just to say, Bob McVeigh, balls out, huh? So you think like aluminum heads, roller cam, spin it to $8,000? Yep. Exactly, Jay. I have 2 401s and they'll sit in storage until I can afford to do any justice to them. Exactly. Like that's not something you just kind of slap together with some cheap crap and send it down the road. Like a 401 needs to be serious. A super stocker, same, that would be exactly the idea. Like I would do a super stocker setup if I had a first gen AMX. I would 100% do that. I think that would be freaking fantastic. The problem is I'd have to find a first gen AMX that I can buy that's in decent shape for not a obscene amount of money. I mean, they're not like, split bumper 71 Camaro or Chevelle SS or whatever, Challenger Charger money, but they're money for sure. There's a whole conversation I want to have complaining about the value of the muscle car world and how we've ruined our ability to enjoy it. That's not for tonight, though. That's not for tonight. Midnight Auto Repair. Speaking of one-off stuff, I'm one of the few that has a 75 Bricklin. Are you Canadian? Why? Why would you own one of those? I don't know what my thinking would be at owning one of those. Everybody I've ever known or ever seen with one of those things hated them. Like they're interesting cars, but they hated them. They broke all the time. What's your plan with that car? Is it a project car or is it something you actually drive and enjoy? Oh God, I don't even know that I want to open that conversation. But thank you for being here. Let me catch back up on stuff. This is my very first live ever on this channel. I've never done one of these. So thanks for being here. Happy Thanksgiving. Fordman, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Grand Pito Vic, thank you for being here. Happy Thanksgiving. Great to see you here. Putting a 4.2 AMC Jeep in a Honda at the moment. You're putting a 4.2 in a Honda. What kind of Honda? Like a CRV? Aren't those motors like crazy tall for a Honda engine bay? That's definitely weird. Now, is it like what kind of 4.2? Is it like so we have I think it's an 87 CJ7 that's at the shop. That's Rich's. That he did a 4.2 4-liter setup on that hasn't had a chance to be running yet, but interesting vehicles, great motors, very, very capable motors. Levi's Backyard Performance. Good to see you, sir. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you very much for being here. Glad to see you. Let's see. Dave, good to see you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. I will keep producing it as long as you keep watching it because you guys are helping to pay for my bad decisions, being honest. I can't wait to see, and this is a little bit self-absorbed. I cannot wait to see if this channel can get to the point where we're at 100,000 people or 50,000 people that are subscribing and we're getting 50, 60, 70, 80, 100,000 views per video. The income that can come off of that can not only change my life, but I can use it for some really cool stuff. And I am somebody who's a support the community kind of person. I was actually thinking about this the other day. And this is kind of off topic, but it's my own live. And if you don't like it, tough. Eagle Rare is, by the way, really good. I kind of want to do something. I mentioned the 2,500 road trip a couple of times with folks, which is something that I just kind of randomly came up with. When I bought my original 94 940 Volvo wagon, my white one, which you may or may not have ever seen. It's still sitting behind the shop, just needs some transmission work. I bought that car for $2,500 in Indianapolis, north side of Indianapolis. And Katrina, actually, I bought this off of Facebook Marketplace. Craigslist? Craigslist. I think I bought this off of Craigslist. Because I hate Facebook Marketplace. I bought it off Craigslist. And I had communicated with the guy that was selling me this car. This is actually a hilarious story. I should link to this and post it, but it's on the Lucor channel. I talked with this guy, verified what was going to happen. We set up the deal. Let's rock and roll. Katrina had to work that evening. She was working at a restaurant at that point in time. We're in Columbus, Ohio, which is like 3.5 hours away from where this car was in northern Indianapolis. We drove to Indianapolis to go get this car. And dude ghosted me. Didn't respond back to text messages. Didn't hear anything from this guy. And I was sitting in the parking lot of a Home Depot. And he kept giving me, he finally eventually got back in touch with me and gave me all of these stories about I'm waiting on this, I'm waiting on that, whatever. I'll be there. And she had to leave and go to work because she had to work that night. And I literally told her, that's fine. Just leave me here. And she left me in the Home Depot parking lot in northeastern Indianapolis. And I basically sat on a trailer, like a yard implements trailer, in the parking lot of a Home Depot for hours, waiting on this guy to show up, wondering, am I going to get home? How am I going to get home? And how funny is this going to be if I get stiffed sitting in Indianapolis waiting on a vehicle and have to like rent a car to drive home or stay in a hotel and then rent a car to get home? Dumbest stuff. Dumbest things. I have hilarious luck when it comes to that stuff. Fortunately, he did eventually show up, and I didn't really have a lot of negotiation capability at that point in time because I didn't have a way to get home. So brakes were slightly locked up. It had some issues. It was not a wonderful car by any means. It was a 180,000 mile Volvo at the time, I believe. But I couldn't really argue with the guy about, I'm not going to buy a car, or I don't want to give you what you want, because I was screwed, man. I was stuck at Home Depot and there was nothing. So I had to buy the car, and I bought the car, and it ended up being a great car. I drove a ton of it, but I've been in a lot of crazy situations like that.
She wants fed.
I know.
Or
All right.
outside, one
Here,
of the two.
Let me move back. Oh, you just moved my, okay.
Sorry.
That's all right. Let's see what else. Let me catch up with you. Catch up. Who's in here that I haven't said hi to? Speaking of blah, blah, blah. John Green. High performance on pump gas. Yes, absolutely. Happy Thanksgiving, John. You understand. That's exactly my thing. I got to catch up. Sorry, guys. I'm behind. Super stock. 364.1, you can at least use a good size intake valve in it. Yeah. Hey, you know what? My max bore 304 is running 360 heads. Big valves. Hopefully that'll be fired up here reasonably soon, one way or another. And we can see how that thing does. But yeah. Doing LS3, 6L80E, and a 03 Crown Vic Police Interceptor project with my grandkids. So much fun. Absolutely. You know, it's going to be funny. I think, I don't know who made this. I think Freiberger maybe mentioned this the other day about like, are the Crown Vics going to be that car that, 20 years from now, we look back at like, the Tri-5s. Like, where the fuck did those all go? Oh, yeah, we killed them all. Because they're great cars. Those Crown Vics are extremely capable vehicles. Unfortunately, we're killing them at an incredible rate. I don't have any idea why I would blame Cletus for that, but yeah. Make a balls to the wall NA motor. Would you do it on pump gas or would you do it on E85? Do you care? Looking for 390s for my secret 1970 project. Yeah. The thing is, what's funny with the AMC world is you have to kind of like be in it to be a part of it. Like you have to know somebody who has a honey hole or a stash or something. You very rarely just jump on Facebook Marketplace and buy an AMC and then be like, I'm going to do this, or this. Unless you're pulling the AMC stuff out of it and putting Chevy stuff in it, which you could, certainly do that. But if you're going to be doing an AMC, like you've got to kind of like get in the community. It's not like something you can just kind of do. Let's see here. It's because they're Ford powered. Yeah, well, yeah. I think they also have a lot of issues with cooling, as I seem to remember, which is a similar thing with like the Panteras of that era. They have a problem with cooling. Yeah, the flywheel repair was, we don't have any option. So that's what we're going to do. I mean, I'm not going to spend $900 on a dual mass flywheel. I'm not going to do it. Like there was one available that I could have bought that was like $900 and some odd dollars. Not going to happen. Not going to spend it. So no, that was not an option. So in order to get the car back together, that's it. That's what we're going to do. Now the car's not together yet. So we'll see how it works out when it does go back together. And hopefully it holds. All I really needed to do is just verify that the engine and transmission is fine, which is weird because I know me. And when I pull that motor out, what are the chances that I just put it back in the hole and I let it be what it is without tearing the motor down and doing things to it? Because it's at the end of the day, it's still a 140,000 mile car. I think something like that, 140,000 miles. So that motor's got 140,000 miles on it. And at least some of them have been hooligan. So, while it's out, why don't we just do blah, 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 blah. I know I'm not the only person that falls for that trick. But while it's out, while we're in here, we do the same thing with our customers. Hey, you know what? While we're here, it's not a lot more labor while we're here. Just replace the parts. We're going to be rebuilding this, and this anyway. Just get it done. And then I've got a $10,000 motor for a PT Cruiser. Jason's Garage and RV Repair. Good to see you, sir. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate you. Couldn't pass it up for $600, and it's a project. It was in such bad shape that anything else is fair. It's not going back stock. I can't afford that. Fair. The problem is, so you bought it for $600. How much are you okay spending on that $600 car? That's the problem for me. It's like my AMX. I bought that car originally for, I believe, $1,700 because that gave me $800 to fix the car because I'm going to take it on my 2,500 road trip. And I need to get back to that because I brought that up earlier. I was going to take that car on my 2,500, so I had $800 to fix it. And I didn't. I didn't. I've probably got $8,000 in my $1,700 car, probably at this point in time. And I've got at least 2 motors for it now. Three motors. 304, 325, 360. Yep, it was a good deal. I bought it cheap. Honey, don't ever pay attention to that. The nice thing with for me, by the way, gentlemen, Katrina and I have a very good understanding with each other. Is as long as our bills are paid, my money is my money and her money is her money. We can do whatever we want to with either of them. So I could spend myself into the poorhouse as long as our bills are paid and we don't become homeless. It is what it is. So she doesn't ask to see receipts and doesn't care that I'm spending way too much money on projects that are not moving forward. She's lovely like that.
And you don't care that I spend money at estate sales.
Nope. Don't care. Don't ask. Don't want to know. 74 Civic that rotted to the ground. So I'm going rat rod. I have a 642 sitting around and the engine is almost as tall as I was going to say, dude, and it's a 74 Civic. That's going to be wild. Are you putting it in the trunk? Are you going to canter it? Man, that'll be interesting. Did you sell that car that you were trying to sell to get money for North Carolina? I did not yet. I'll be honest, that falls on me as I haven't been as aggressive with that as I should have been. We ended up putting it on a rollback and stashing it back in the backyard behind some other vehicles, and it kind of threw me off. So I did not. But here's the thing, Dave. That situation in North Carolina is going to be an ongoing thing. It's not going to be a one-time thing. So I'm going down there next weekend. And I'm going to take the money that I have so far, which is like $1,500. I rounded up from 13. I think it was like 1320 or something like that. We rounded it up to $1,500, and I'm going to take all that down with me next weekend to that area and give that all away. So, and that'll be a really cool experience. To be honest with you, and I talked about this earlier, that's one of the things that I really, really want to focus on with as the channel grows and the income that generates off the channel grows. It opens up so many ways for me to be able to do this kind of stuff and give money back to people. Not necessarily just random strangers, but help other YouTubers or other people that are interested in this automotive thing, help sponsor some of that stuff. I think it'd be a super cool ability to do that. If it's not something that I need personally to be able to spend on my life, because I live pretty comfortably. I'm a pretty simple dude. If I could turn some of that money, a couple of $100 or $1,000 a month into doing something great for somebody else, that'd be amazing. I know most of you have absolutely no idea about this, but I actually had another YouTube channel that I launched about this time last year, a couple of weeks prior to this, but it's called Good Things for Good People, where it was me just literally trying to do good things for good people, donate money, donate stuff, over tip people, spend money, do whatever I possibly could to try to help other people out there that really deserved it. And unfortunately, YouTube never figured out how to make it work and never knew who my audience was. So it never really went anywhere. I did a massive amount of videos for it. I spent 6 months trying to grow it, and it never went anywhere. I think at the moment it's still at 900 and some subscribers, and I was not even halfway to the monetization level as far as watch time goes. And that sucks because that's a big passion of mine, is doing things for people. And that didn't work out. But that doesn't mean I can't do it with this channel. I can do whatever I want to with the revenue that comes out of this channel. And if that's turn it around and help other people, yeah, sure, why not? I think it's a great idea. Wouldn't that be wonderful if more people did that? Use the money that they make and just to be able to do it. Do good things for people. Let's see here. What did I miss? Change my life. Change your life. Bob, sir, I hate to tell you this, but your life has changed a lot in the last couple of years. And I know you're enjoying it because I think you're getting ready to go pirating here down in Florida in 2 months. Let's see here. For us to make this a full-time thing, at least that's my dream. Dude, go after it. The thing is, you never know what's going to work on YouTube. You just got to do what your best is and hope for the best. Make some friends along the way and have some adventures. And if it takes off, it takes off. I got this channel monetized on the third video I made. It took, 17 days. I went from 0 to monetized in 17 days. And it was some stupid video about me getting screwed trying to buy a car up at Summit Racing when I was trying to buy the first PT Cruiser that I needed. That video alone literally monetized this entire channel and made absolutely zero money off of, because by the time all my monetization went through, the video was not doing anything anymore. So, but you never know what's going to take off. Do your best and have a good time along the way. And, don't focus too much on that side of things and just hope it'll happen. In the meantime, don't spend yourself silly. Drop a 4.2 in a Crown Vic. Yeah, get the first one done first, put the last one first. You'd have so many confused looks, although the 74 Civic would also generate a lot of confused looks. Let us see here. Wish I had something stronger than beer, but I have to work tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Oh, you work a 12-hour day on Black Friday? Sweet Jesus. Good luck for you, man. Whew, that's rough. Actually, Katrina has to do the same thing. She has to be at work at what time? 5:15?
Probably 6:30.
6:30. Yeah. Has to be up at 5:30 in the morning. Nope. Not this fat guy. That's what Cal hoods are for. Cal hood on a Civic, 74 Civic. Yes, Cletus is killing many, many Crown Vics, but I love the man for what he's doing. I do. Cletus is a god in the automotive world, and what he's been doing for all of automotive YouTube and for people in general is just fantastic. And I wish him all the best. I hope he continues to be amazing and has so much fun doing it. Bill Browning, happy Thanksgiving, sir. Welcome to the chat. Glad to have you here. Did you have to cut the reliefs at the top of the cylinder bores? I know the 304 suffer from GM 305 bore issues with bigger valves. No, because we cut it out so far that it automatically will kill it. Some 304s already have scalloping at the top of the cylinders to be able to clear the bigger valves. And that one did, but we cut it out so far that it actually cut the scallops out of the top. So shouldn't have any problem with valve shrouding or valves hitting. More on that when we eventually get the motor fired up. We'll see. Hit the like button. Yeah, that'd be great. I appreciate it. 305, terrible vehicle, terrible motor. I almost ended up with something that was 305 powered the other day, but apparently I missed out on it, which is probably a good thing because I almost bought another car I don't need. But it would end up being, oh God, I don't want to talk about it. Let's see here. Lives are awesome to actually talk with people. That was the whole idea. That's what I wanted to do. Because I know a lot of people, especially in the evenings, like, family's gone away, or if you didn't have anybody around, it's just kind of a nice way to be able to hang out and chat and whatever. Fuel is irrelevant to me. I've never understood the fascination with pump gas stuff. Like, it's going to be a street-driven car anymore than 500, 600 horsepower is too much for the majority of street car enthusiasts. I get it, and I get where you're coming from. But for me, all of my stuff are street cars. Even my race cars are street cars. I run everything on pump gas, and I want to be able to get gasoline at everywhere I go. So if I'm going out west, if I'm going down south, if I'm going wherever I'm going, I need to be able to run it on the gas that I get. And that means I have to be limited by 91 or 93, depending on what part of the country I'm in. So, like, we're in the corn world, so E85 is freaking everywhere. You can get it. But if you build a 13-to-1 compression pump gas motor that you've run on E85 and you want to just, take it on a road trip like Hot Rod Power Tour or something along those lines, and you're going somewhere where they don't have E85, you're in for a world of hurt. And that's why I don't do that. Personal preference. My AMC guy has 3 or 4 blower setups for AMCs. Trust me, I'm going to keep trying. Oh, Lord. I hate you. It's not fair. But yes, I agree. 500 horsepower, 600 horsepower is the majority. And realistically, let's be honest also. Most people don't own 500 or 600 horsepower cars, or they're not street driven. They'll say it is, but most people have never driven a 600 horsepower street car. It's intimidating, especially if you've got your foot to the floor. So. Is she like the Hurricane? Occasionally. Yes, Paul. Occasionally. I'd love to do a junk car challenge. If you ever put a multi-channel junk car thing together, it would be cool to be a part of. All right. So Hold on. I'm about out. All right, Levi, you open the can of whoop. And it's literally right at an hour. I was planning on doing this in an hour, but we're talking, so we're just going to keep on pouring. All right. Eagle Rare for those of you who are curious. Should probably switch to rum, but that's all right. We'll do a little bit more bourbon. Maybe some chess pie. How's pie and bourbon go? This is about as southern as you can get, boys. Kentucky bourbon and chess pie. They actually go together really well. The sugar really. Woo! It works. All right. Real quick, Levi. Backyard performance. Here's what I'm envisioning. Hang on. Let me move my camera in here. All right. So let's talk here. Let's talk. All right. So here's how I envision this. I want to get myself and maybe 4 other channels to do some sort of a build where you have to be under a certain budget. Call it $4,000. And we have 3 months to build them, 4 months to build them. Time frame. Set up a time frame, set up a budget. And we do build-offs. And we have to road trip them. We also have to do different types of racing. So like drag racing, autocross, maybe even some rallies, slide around in the grass kind of stuff. I think it would be fantastic. It's okay. It's not like I'm on the internet being famous. God. But that's what I would love to do. I think it'd be amazing. I think it'd be super fun to do. I think it would be great fun. And we've got to be very careful about budgeting because I don't want to make it stupid where, he who spends the most money wins like most racing is. But I think it would be awesome. I think it's something that would be really, really fun to do. The problem is right now I'm not in a position to be able to do it because I have so many projects that are backed up. And with my dad's health stuff going on, it's really complicated for me to be able to disappear for a while. But an extended road trip like my 2500. So we build, $4,000 hot rods and we go on a 2,500 mile road trip to a couple of great spots and we have some racing stops in between. I think would be freaking fantastic. I think it'd be a super fun time to do. I would love to set that up and it would be great for content as far as being able to network with other people. And I think it'd be super watchable. We just got to be careful about when, budgeting wise and what makes sense for people. And it's, if we're honest, it's also really kind of complicated right now is the pricing of classic cars has gotten really, really expensive. It's hard to buy any kind of a classic that's not just rotted into the ground, at least in our area, for less than $3,000, $4,000. So under $1,000, if you got $1,000, what are you going to be able to do? How much can you really get done? And then it ends up being snowballing out of control from there. But it's something I definitely want to come up. I'll probably bring that up in a future episode. I'll be honest. I'll bring it up in a future video and let people kind of talk about it. And if there's interest, I'll make it work. I'll figure it out on my side of things. I'll sell some stuff and be able to build another car. But it's a ton of fun. Like my 2,500 road trip thing, where it's $2,500 cars going at 2,500 miles, is a ton of fun. It's a great time. Those have been almost exclusively with non-content creators. So I've been the only one making the videos, but it would be really fun to be able to do that with other people that made videos of their own. So you guys could all kind of share your own thing. I got all kinds of ideas with that kind of stuff. I just got to find the people that'll do it. So if you're interested, we'll just got to make it work. If I can have the outside looking like a Bricklin, everything else can be whatever I've got access to. It's like my small block S10 I built out of everyone's junk and an old Merc Cruiser 305. You have an S10 powered by a Merc Cruiser 305. Well, that's a unique vehicle. Holy crap. I agree with you. They keep the Bricklin here. Hold on. It's fine. She's literally climbing over the couch. That's how you know she loves you, is when she climbs over the couch to be able to get her. Did you get some pie?
No, I got guacamole and chippies.
Guacamole and chips. $1,500 all in. That's, and I'm on the eastern side of North Carolina. What part of North Carolina? I was down there a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, to go pick up a crank grinder for Bob, or crank polisher. Bob, Mr. Bob McVeigh. But yeah, I agree. The leave the outside Bricklin and leave everything else not Bricklin. Good plan. Remove all the Bricklin stuff. Just leave the reasonably attractive body. Good plan. Fully gutted, just a shell. It's going to be a rear drive front engine setup. It was also just customized into a micro ranchero in the 1980s. I just couldn't send it to the crusher. It's also been custom. There's a sentence. It's also customized into a micro ranchero in the early 1980s. So somebody cut the back and the trunk off and made it into a mini truck out of a 74 Civic, and you're going to make it front engine rear wheel drive out of a 4.2 Jeep motor. Now that's an interesting vehicle. That's awesome. Oh, let's see here. Pro unique junk I put together. I've got an L67 powered 99 Monty and a 71 Corvair. Whoa, you got interesting taste of vehicles, my friend. I've been at 1,300 watch hours for over a year. Can't get any progress no matter how many videos I put out. So I decided to just have fun. Dude, having fun is what it's all about. Just do what you want to do, man. Have a good time. I get it. It sucks that you're putting money in and you're not getting any money out. Believe me, I do. I get that. Before I made this channel, I was spending boatloads of money on my own projects and not seeing anything out of it, which sucked. I get it. The thing is, you never know with YouTube whether or not it's ever going to work. And you never know like who your people are going to be. We all fall into a lot of traps as far as like going after that brass ring. And a lot of times when you're just kind of having fun and being yourself, that's what takes off. That's what really works. And I'm not saying it's the case for you, but like a lot of times you get that video that has really good average, if you want to get into the analytics side of things, but you get something that's got a really good title, really good thumbnail, really good retention in the first 30 seconds, really good retention in the first 5 minutes. If it's a 12-minute video and it has an average watch time of 8 minutes, analytics-wise, it's going to take off. So make a really interesting 12-minute video that keeps people around for 8 minutes. Put a good thumbnail and good title on it, and it'll go. That's how it works. I mean, it's just how it goes. So I get it, though. Believe me, man, I get it. I shoveled so many tens of thousands of dollars into cars and made not a dollar back. This way, I'm at least making a couple of dollars back. But the problem is, once you get monetized, then you start having an even larger appetite because you're like, I'm going to make money back. I made $300 this month. I paid for like 2 oil changes. Bill McKnight, thanks for being here, sir. I do truly appreciate you. Thank you for being here. We would definitely need to talk about the AMC motor. That'll be something we need to do. I'm just over 1,000 subscribers in almost 3 years, but I need about 1,500 watch hours to get monetized. Yeah, the tricky thing is, man, with that is the watch hours are a 365-day thing. So they drop off as you're going through the calendar. So you got to get it in a chunk. But if you've already got 1,000 subscribers, here's the thing. If you've already got 1,000 subscribers, if they're reasonably active, if you make a couple of really good videos that trend really well and you can score 50, 60, 70 watch hours per video, if you make more content and you keep your viewing audience interested, that can quickly get you where you need to be. That's really the thing. Where we almost always fail is the fact that we just don't do enough content, especially in the monetization phase, unless you happen like with me, where you get something where it just takes off right off the rip. But you need to be able to put out enough content, because if you're one of those guys that does like a video a week or a video a month and you only get a couple of hundred views, unless that video is a couple of hours long, it's not going to work out to where you need it to be. So you need to be able to concentrate on making production, getting stuff in, getting it up, making it interesting, keeping people engaged, and it'll do its own thing. That's how this thing works. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, again, my side project is called Automotive YouTube Education. I'm literally just going to give you guys as much information as I possibly have. Everything I've learned over the decade of doing YouTube stuff. And I'm not saying I'm a professional or I'm a amazing thing or anything like that, but I've learned a lot of lessons along the way. I can teach you guys a lot of stuff. And I don't gatekeep. I'll give you everything. And I'm actually going to break down my analytics for this channel on that as well in the near future. For those of you guys who are interested in seeing that kind of thing, I'll give you guys all my stuff behind the scenes. So let's see what I say. I co-host a Linux YouTube at this time. Just started with an existing YouTuber. Oh, cool. Very nice. Oh, Linux. Not even going to go there. Don't make me have nightmares about my IT life. Wanting to build my 77 Malibu Classic as a gas getter with 4.2 straight 6 with a small turbo. Yeah, dude. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff is fun. The problem is it has to find an audience. So, like, you got to figure out how to package that to be able to go out to a wider audience. Because if you have all of the people that are interested in 77 Malibus, how many people is that? You know, that's the problem. You can make the greatest video in the world, but if it doesn't have a large, wide audience, you're not going to get anywhere with it. You're going to have fun. You're going to have a cool car at the end of it, but, you know, that's the end of that. So, good song for you. $1,000 car by the Bottle Rockets. I'll have to look that up. Russ, hey, I don't think I said Happy Thanksgiving to you. Russ, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm eating Oreo balls at a Diet Pepsi. I'm the definition of a party animal. Rowdy man indeed. Rowdy man indeed. It's a LeBlond, Michael. It's okay if you're late. That's fine. I'm still talking. This was supposed to be an hour. We're at an hour and 12 minutes. That's okay. Sweet potato pie and bushmeal 6-8. Okay, that's fine. Chris, what part of the area are you from? Budget stuff. You know, and that's the thing, man. I think that's the future of YouTube is the fact that it's gotten to be so much less produced and like Gas Monkey Garage-ish, because you and I both, and most everybody on the internet relates to the small, like normal person stuff, not the like, I spent $400,000 rebuilding an F1 or a F40 Ferrari. Like, okay, cool. Rich guy stuff doesn't really relate to anything that I do, but yay, good for you. I'm going to do tequila shots in my eyeballs. Mustang. You don't think your Mustang would do autocross? Bro, you can autocross a Mustang. Just slide it if you can't make the turn. Just slide it. I would like to see a build off, John Green. You know? But keep it small. Keep it like attainable, interesting stuff. And we got to make it like you got to have things. This is one of the things I loved about the Top Gear guys. You know, they always had challenges. So they would, you know, and I think that I love that idea. And I would love to help launch some of that stuff. I really would. Like, it's so hard to overestimate what those guys did for automotive content creation. I would love to see something like that come back. We'll see. I like how the Top Gear guys did it, junk cars a few miles and then just have fun challenges. Exactly. That's exactly my point. And it keeps it relatable and it keeps it interesting. And it's not something where it's just like, you know, the rich guy or the guy with the, you know, million YouTube subscribers immediately is the best guy on the channel. There's immediately the best guy at the challenge. Just because he happens to have a gigantic following doesn't necessarily mean he's that great at things. You know, it's interesting. I think it makes it much more attainable too. And also, you're not going to break the bank when you set a budget level. That was the whole point with the 2,500 road trip, was like, I want it to be something where I'm not going to bankrupt my friends, because most people could swing $2,500 all in on a car in a year. And that's all you could spend. So I limited the fact that I have friends that are bad at budgeting, and all they're allowed to spend was $2,500. And we kept it very honest, and it worked out. Now, with prices of things changing and with inflation and blah, 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 it does make it a whole lot harder to find a car that you can fix and drive 2,500 miles for less than $2,500. You know, maybe you need to sliding scale that or asterisk it, but it was a ton of fun, man. I'm telling you, it was a ton of fun. I like to participate, but I've got family to take care of. So I've got to get my YouTube money so that I do have. Yeah, get it. I totally get it, man. I totally get it. Real life happens before YouTube happens, and family always happens. Absolutely. I'm glad you have your priorities straight. Yes, I do. Built it on my channel. I've got to grab the Brickland from Pennsylvania where I live before I moved to North Carolina. I'm just outside of Raleigh. Nice. I used to live in Greensboro. Greensboro, High Point, Winston-Salem. That's where I went to high school. Love that area. The Piedmont. If you could get like a Jegs involved, give the teams a motor or something, or just a couple of free parts. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I got a lot of friends at Jegs. We'll see if I can make something happen. I got to lean on some people. Just thought about putting a Pontiac engine in the Mustang just to upset everybody. Hey, I'm fine with that. Absolutely do that. Go for it. Lost a lot of parts in the shop fire up north, so I moved down the project list, and it's my last vehicle to grab. Hence the dirt Jeep tow rig. I get it, man. I get it. Y'all get any Tennessee whiskey up that far north? Well, Hard Drive USA, me. Yes, we do. It also helps that I drive to East Tennessee on a pretty damn regular basis. So I'm driving through bourbon and whiskey country and pretty much on the regular. So while I'm road tripping or taking care of business while I need to take care of business, I almost always come back with a bottle of something. It's just kind of part of who I am. I don't really need it. I'll be honest, that entire bar behind it is also full of stuff. And so is that cabinet and that cabinet full of stuff. And I don't really ever drink at home unless I'm being social, which is with you guys. So I'm having a drink with you guys. But yes, we 2,500 hours from my 53 Buick Revival. That hurt. Oof. Ouch. Don't ever try to figure out how much money that cost. Good evening, Austin from Fenley, Ohio. Digital Momo. Good to have you here, sir. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for being here. Tom Fry. Please do spend as much time with him as possible. Absolutely. I agree. 100%. 100%. Who doesn't love a muscle car that gets good gas mileage? That's the cell, not the car. It's just the tool to make the content with. 100%. I agree. And, realistically speaking, that's the same thing. Like, I'm not a big LS swap guy, but I get the whole like daily drivable fuel economy thing. If that's your shtick, I appreciate you doing it in a car that you're going to actually drive. Like, if you're going to build a classic car with something that is got daily drivable function, drive the damn thing. Don't leave your LS powered 6L80E 25 miles per gallon hot rod sitting at home in the garage that you only put 1,000 miles on. Like, go out and drive the damn thing. Otherwise, put old school stuff in it. Get off my lawn. Should do the $2,500 road trip with Junkyard Digs. Dude, I totally would. Kevin and I talked about it a number of times. He's a busy man, and he's a long way from me. So, long time ago, I had a gentleman from Arkansas that came out. We had a great time. Daniel was a great dude. Vasile's Garage. I haven't talked to him in years, but great dude, really nice guy. And he came out and he drove from Arkansas to Ohio and then went on the road trip with us. And that was a fantastic time. We had a wonderful time together. Great dude. But Kevin's real busy. Junkyard Digs is a real busy dude. Trying to get him to budget. It wouldn't be the money and it wouldn't be the car. It would be the time, because that's going to be like a week at least to be able to do that. Because 2,500 miles, you're doing that over like a 6-day period. Otherwise, you're just killing yourself driving miles. 500 miles a day and we're not doing interstate driving for the most part. 500 miles a day is a lot of driving. So we'll see. I'll do my best. I'll bring it up to Kevin. He and I actually were just talking a couple of days ago. So I'm trying to get some more of the footage from when I picked up the Pinto. Good Thanksgiving from Vandalia. Well, hi there, Tom Fry. Happy Thanksgiving to you, sir. Henderson, Nevada. Hey, happy Thanksgiving out there in Nevada. I'm going to go, Austin. Mike, thanks for coming in. Happy Thanksgiving, sir. I appreciate you being here. Gas must be drove the value up on junk cars are really worth only $600 to $1,000 selling for $6,000. 100%. 100%. There's a whole conversation we'll have about that. The Gas Monkey Garage and all those stupid friggin' TV shows and the friggin' auction sites, man. Oh, it's going to sell for... Oh, come on. Go to Mopar Nats and everybody that's got a freaking Charger that they bought from 1982 that's been sitting in their barn that's rusted into pieces they want fucking $80,000 for. Drives me nuts. Got a four-door Mavic I've been driving every day. I think I'm going to see if I could buy it cheap. I got a four-door Maverick I have been driving by every day. Oh, driving by every day. They're going to see if I could buy it and make a cheap hot rod out of it. 100%. And if Maverick's all on basically Ford parts, more or less, like all like Mustang stuff. 100%. Absolutely do that. Consequently, the brakes that are on the front of my Pinto are Maverick/Ford Granada brakes. So, yes, absolutely make that happen. And if you have any questions, you've got Thunderhead 289. Luke, great dude. He's done the Maverick thing. Good evening, sir. R.H. Workman. Good to have you here. Happy Thanksgiving. Great to see you. Vince, St. Louis. I love Lou. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Love St. Louis. Hopefully you guys haven't closed my Sugar Fire barbecue downtown. Last time I was there, it was a great time. They closed the one in Indianapolis, which sucks. By the way, if you didn't know that about me, I'm big on the whole like eating really well. Not like fancy, but like eating really well whenever I go anywhere. To me, that's one of the best parts of road trips. Also, what was I? Salt and Smoke. Downtown St. Louis. Fantastic food. Salt and Smoke was really, really good. John Deere Green S10 with a Merc Cruiser, small block Chevy. Well, the nice thing is a Merc Cruiser that's going to be all forged internals, yeah? Because it's built for boat usage, for marine usage. Good news, I wasn't monetized then, so I didn't lose anything. But if it was my first video to hit, so that hurt. Ever shoot me a message. Yeah, I mean, normally I travel a lot. The last year I haven't really much because of my dad's situation. So as he stabilizes, hopefully that opens me up to be able to do some more of that stuff. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully. Happy Turkey Day from the Netherlands. The Netherlands. Hey. What day is it for you? Is it already Friday over there? Yeah. It's really Friday already. Thanks for being here. Late night crew from the Netherlands. One of my very good friends is actually from there. Years later, I bought the Mercruiser Overdrive. Very cool. And you're going. Phone's about to die. I've got the family here. I'll let you know when I get the Bricklin here. Absolutely. Good talking with you. Thank you very much for being here, sir. Appreciate you. Happy Thanksgiving. Have a great evening. I'm going to wrap up here probably in the next 5 minutes or so, guys. So I apologize if I'm killing your phones or killing your vibe. It's great to talk with you guys. I'm really glad you guys came on here and we had so many people that dropped in. It's only 2:30 in the morning. Yeah, it's fine. This was just kind of something that I just kind of threw together. I wanted to have a conversation. I've never done a live on this channel before. And one of the things I love most about YouTube is the fact that it gives us this ability to have these conversations and develop a community and talk and have fun. And more so than, TV or movies or whatever else, any other kind of format. This is what I love about this feature is we have the ability to have an ongoing legitimate conversation. So thank you guys for all being here. I appreciate it. If I keep Trashy together for the next year, I'd like to come down for the alignment. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's nothing we can't align. Let me know. We'll make that happen. Happy Thanksgiving. Roy, good to see you, sir. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm almost out of bourbon. I may have to switch over to rum here in a little bit. I will be honest. I have in my past had quite a bit of a accomplished alcohol consumption capability in my life. So I'll try to keep most of that off the TV. You need to visit the hill next time you're here. You need to visit the hill next time you're here. Loaded with Dago restaurants. Tell me more. Tell me more. I love finding great places to eat. That is literally one of my favorite things to do. There's a guy that I don't know that he's on this channel or not. I know he was on the Lucor channel when I was out that way, that has a barbecue spot that's northeast of St. Louis that wanted me to stop in. I love good food, man. Now, here's the thing. I don't eat fruits and vegetables, so it's got to be like good meats, good starches, and that kind of stuff I'm in. If it's fruits and vegetables, it's gonna be wasted on me because I don't eat that stuff. I love to one day own a big American car.
Friends.
Whoa!
I had it on mute.
Excuse me.
I had it on mute.
Hey, look. There's my girl. She's on TV.
I just posted.
You can't really see her. It's whitewashed out, but she's my lady's a content creator too these days, and doing better than me. Did I mention that earlier? I think I did. Her channel's growing faster than mine. It's fine.
But I'm not monetized.
You're not monetized yet.
Yeah.
But if you hadn't given up on it,
I know.
you would have absolutely been monetized. But you gave up on it for 6 months. I'd love to one day own a big American car, but it takes $120. Yeah, dude. I get it. One of the things that always drives me up the friggin' wall about Americans is we complain about our gas prices like religiously, when we don't realize that the entire rest of the civilized world would die to have our gasoline prices. I regularly vacation in Ireland. There's a reason that everything over there is small and it gets 55 miles to the gallon, is because it's insanely expensive. And most of them are diesel or they're turbo gasoline motors. So, driving around on a hot rod here in the United States, it's like 93 octane. It's like $4 a gallon. When it's a lot more than that, yeah, ouch. Hamish is Scotland. I need to ask him what it is, what gas is. What's the gas in Scotland? Although you guys also have way better gasoline than we do in Europe. You guys have, we have 87 octane, which is like the crappiest gas we sell. I don't even think that's an option in Europe, is it? You guys don't get that bad of gas. I think your RON rating is way higher than what we have. More efficiency, I guess. I seen your Cyclone on your channel. My uncle has a 2003 Extreme with only 30,000 miles on it. He ordered it new. Very nice. Yeah, Tom, we have literally owned that truck since it was brand new. We bought it at Lima, Ohio, at Irwin GMC in 1992. It was on the showroom floor when we bought it. The GMC dealership could not sell it because it was too much friggin' money, and it couldn't truck. So it was like twice the price of an S15 Jimmy, and it couldn't do any truck stuff. So they literally couldn't sell it. It had like no miles on it. It hadn't gone anywhere. It lived its life on the showroom floor. And I'll have to ask my dad, to be honest, how he ended up hearing about that car, because it was 2 hours west of where we lived at the time, 2.5 hours maybe. And this was this is 1992, so way before the internet. I don't know how he got word about that truck, but we traded in a GMC Gladiator conversion van, if you remember those. I don't know why we owned one of those in the first place, because I'm an only child, so I don't know why we needed a conversion van. We never really went anywhere. But we traded in a GMC conversion van for it. And my dad lied to my mother about the fact that she was going to be able to use it to haul dog food with and mulch and gravel, because it's a truck. And I think she did that twice, maybe 3 times. And then that was it. So that's how we own that truck. We've owned it literally since brand new. And there's almost nobody that has ever driven that truck other than us. Probably not the time to ask, but I haven't got my Church of Bad Decisions shirt. Happy Thanksgiving. Really enjoy all your shows. Ron, email me. I've been trying to catch up on some of that stuff. Some of it fell through the cracks. As far as the orders go, I have almost everything. Also, we had a sizable portion of things get eaten by a mouse in the shop. Ate a bunch of our holes and a bunch of our hoodies and stuff. So hopefully yours is not in the pile of holy hoodies. But email me, lucorracing@gmail.com. That comes directly to me. And let me know what you ordered, and I will look up your information, and I will get that handled. I apologize about that. Sorry about that. How is Rich doing on the 68 Barracuda? Good. And we are at the fuel and firing portion of things. He just ran the fuel return line the other day, We got to get all of the EFI stuff from Aces set up in the engine bay, and get all the wiring and everything in the distributor figured out. And then it should be ready to fire up. So we're very, very close. And then the customer's probably going to be like, hey, by the way, I need better brakes and better suspension. But at least it'll fire up. I've got an 06 Audi Ace A4 station wagon with that size tank. I just close my eyes and pay. It's like my Passat. I have a 01 Passat wagon. Love that thing. 1.8 liter turbo. Gets 27 miles per gallon. It's not bad. It's reasonably efficient. Although, funny enough, my Pontiac Vibe GT with the exact same amount of displacement, my 1.8 liter that revs to 8,000 RPMs, gets even better fuel economy. But it's a 6-speed, not a 5-speed. So gets like 29, 30 miles per gallon, depending on, you can drive the absolute balls out of it and doesn't care. 5% octane or 10% octane. If I were to get 5% octane here, it's over $2 per liter. Dude, gasoline prices in Europe are rough, man. There's a reason you guys do highly efficient small motors. I think my first time I was in, God, what did I drive the first time? The Fiat Panda was the first thing I drove when I was in Ireland. And I hated that car until I drove it like the entire length and breadth of Ireland on one tank of gas. And it was diesel, I believe. It's been a decade ago. Maybe it wasn't diesel. Maybe it was. I think it was maybe a 3-cylinder turbo. Anyway, I literally drove the entirety of Ireland. I spent the entire week driving all over Ireland on one tank of fuel. It was fantastic. Now, I would probably also be terrified to drive that car in the United States, where we decide that everybody needs to have a friggin' tank to be able to drive. In Ireland, the roads are this big, so you drive reasonable cars. And dude, I'm not going to get off on this tangent tonight, but let me tell you, I love Ireland. I love vacationing in Ireland. I love the people of Ireland. I love everything there is to love about Ireland. It's a wonderful country. If you've never been there, highly recommend it. Wonderful place to go vacation. It's not crazy expensive. It cost me more money to fly from Columbus to New York than it costs to fly from New York to Dublin on a really, really nice airplane in really comfortable chairs with really nice people. And it's not that expensive. It cost me more money to vacation in Miami for a week than it cost me to vacation and stay in castles in Ireland for a week, including flying across the Atlantic Ocean. Fantastic time. Go there. It's a wonderful time. Do I have any kids? No, I do not have any kids, which is why I have a lot of toys. I've also never been married, which is also why I have a lot of toys. Good question, though. My mom had an AMC Spirit. You know, the thing is, Tom, I literally never knew what AMC Spirits were until I found that AMX. It was a random good stroke of Craigslist find that worked out well for me. So you have a 68 CUDA. Cool. Original 318 car? What do you got in it? The funny thing is that like that generation of CUDA, or at least from those of us on the outside, is not like super well loved, especially compared to its younger brothers. It's just not worth as much and not as loved, but they're great, beautiful cars. I love the styling of them. Pandas don't have turbos. Yeah, it's been so long. I think it was my first trip. My first trip I was over there, I drove a Fiat Panda. I drove Fiestas a couple times while I was over there. Great little cars. All that sort of stuff. Gordon Walker. Hey, Gordon. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for being here. I've been watching Austin. Mount Morris, Michigan. Keep up to date. Where is Mount Morris, Michigan? I've been through most of Michigan. Dude, that's a GMC, that snub-nosed van. That's one of Rich's purchases. He bought that even before I knew him. That van has been sitting there for probably 15 years. It's got a small block in it, and it's literally, in the entire time I've known him, never done anything with it. He drove it around the building, out of the shop and around the building. The throttle linkage isn't even hooked up. The motor because it's a snub nose van. So like the front, literally windshield, motor, everything's like motor sits in between the driver and the passenger. He literally drove it with hand throttle and drove it around the corner and put it in the parking spot that it's been in for the last decade or so. Up north of Flint, Michigan. Okay. All right. I love Michigan. Ooh. Probably shouldn't say that given our game that's coming up on Saturday. But whatever. Michigan's a beautiful state, though. I love Michigan. Especially like we did the tunnel of trees up on the west coast of Michigan. And man, what was it? Oh God, what's the name of that town? There's a town on the western coast of Michigan. It's right on the tip of my tongue. I cannot remember it for the life of me. But the the tunnel of trees is over there on that side. And we went, it was one of the 2,500 road trips. Petoskey. Got it. I knew it was there. Petoskey, Michigan. Beautiful area of the country. And we went up there in the fall, early fall, late spring, or late summer, early fall. Yeah, fall. We went up western side of Michigan, or we went up the eastern side of Michigan through Detroit, and then we came across and then went up the western side of Michigan and went on the 2,500 road trip across the UP and then up into Minnesota and then back down. And man, that was a hell of a trip. What a great trip. And then like the week after we were up there, I think the UP got like 2 feet of snow. It was gorgeous while we were there, and it got very much not gorgeous after that. But Michigan's one of those states that like most people never really get to experience. Like they've been in like Grand Rapids or Detroit or like some of that stuff, but the vast majority of Michigan, like most people do not understand how beautiful that state is. There's a lot of gorgeous country in that area. Yes, original 318 car, currently a 360 with Edelbrock heads, building a 340 Strutter Ford now, 360 going in a 67 Barracuda convertible. I'm sorry. Nice taste of Mopar cars, sir. I like it. The 68 Cuda that we have was originally a 318 car, but that 318 is so unbelievably worn out that it was just kind of one of those moments of like, we could rebuild this 318, but the amount of money you're going to spend to be able to get it up and running, and you want to just have a kind of fun tool around car, just powertrain swap it. And it made sense. It's going to be basically the same amount of money, and it's going to be a so much more fun car than it would be with a little 318 in it. So, but that's the thing. Like for me, like it's an all original car. I don't care. Honestly, I don't want it to be an all original car. I want to be able to enjoy it. I want to be able to drive it and have a good time with it. I want to make it my own. I want to be able to play with it and change things. That's just me though. I mean, unless it's something where you need to be able to sell your car for your retirement fund or something. Personally, I'm a get out there and drive it kind of guy. Only thing Michigan is good for is mushrooms. Hey, also pizza. I'm a big fan of Detroit style pizza. I love Detroit. You probably don't know this about me, but I vacation in Detroit every year. I love Detroit. I think it's one of the greatest cities. The food is fantastic. The people are wonderful. The architecture is incredible. I love Detroit. And you can get away with just about anything in Detroit. Mopar Nats next year. Nice. I was supposed to be at Mopar Nats this year. I did not go. I was dealing with dad stuff. But I will be there next year. And I will have, I'm not going to promise this, but I will have my AMX there. And hopefully Katrina will have her Charger there. You heard it here first. But Mopar Nats is always a great time. Other than the Mopar idiots that want to charge me $200,000 for a car that's painted with a Earl Scheib paint job and they found in a barn 2 weeks before for $6,000. Other than that. Wish it was Homestead. I've got a 70 Bonneville convertible with 455 numbers matching is my ride. Okay, well, first off, happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you being here. Secondly, a 1970 Bonneville convertible. That's a freaking cool car with a 455. How long have you had that? Where did you find it? And does it fit in your garage? Because most modern cars or modern houses probably couldn't fit that in the garage. What a cool car, though. I would own the hell out of that. Yeah, tell me more. I'm great for all. Yes, also, yes, that's also a product of Michigan, very much so. Drag race down Detroit, but also racing Pontiac, Michigan Avenue. So, I've never done the Pontiac, Michigan thing. I was really, really, really hoping to get personal thing. I was really hoping to get the guys to notice the AMX project with the whole doing a Hellcat swap thing on it. I really wanted that to happen. Because it's just not in my own personal budget. Like spending $20,000 on an engine transmission combo and then $20,000 to be able to make it happen in a car that's worth no money was not something that I could do. I don't live like that. I can't afford that. So I was hoping the Roadkill guys would have noticed that AMX project and kind of shoved some money at it and put a Hellcat in it, or, sent me a Hellcat that I could put in it. Didn't happen. It is what it is. But I've never actually been to Pontiac, Michigan, as weird as that is. I've been to Detroit 50 times, but I've never been to Pontiac. Does it snow here, by the way? Yes. Mostly we get ice, which is, it used to snow here. But with how climate has been changing recently in the last decade or so, we get much less snow. Ice is mostly what we get. We'll get an inch or so of snow, and then ice storms are usually the thing that we get here that really suck, where it's raining and it's just warm enough to come down as rain, and then it turns into ice, which sucks. And then you end up with everything covered in a beautiful layer of ice, and then you can't go anywhere. New Hampshire, right after I died almost in July. Engine died today, getting my niece from Tampa International Airport. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm glad you didn't die in July. Let me say that. I don't know about New Hampshire with a convertible. That doesn't seem like that's the right state to have a big old GM convertible. Maybe it is. There is some beautiful area in that world. If you happen to be out in the country, you want to just go for a cool country drive. Another area of the country that most people never go to. I worked at Odon. Oh, nice. Gotcha. One neighbor in a Model A is Model T is 6 vehicles. You have some very interesting neighbors, Gordon. Very interesting. Yeah, I love Detroit. I love Detroit. Yeah, do they salt in New Hampshire? Probably not. Do they? That's our big problem here is we salt. I mean, they literally brine the roads. They use liquid salt. They literally did that on Wednesday before we left work, and then it rained all day. So they just washed all that crap off the roads, which is probably good, but all right, guys. I got to start wrapping this up. It is 8:45 at night. We've been doing this for an hour and 45 minutes. I do love you guys all. I do appreciate you. By the way, chest pie. My aunt made it. It's fantastic. If you don't have issues with your health and you can process sugar, chest pie, something to look it up. It's fantastic. Oh, gosh, so good. It's even good with bourbon. It's basically just sugar pie. But man, is it good. Man, is it good. Anyways, guys, I love you guys so much. I am so unbelievably thankful for you supporting me on this channel. What I'm trying to do here, helped me grow this community. You guys have all been fantastic, and I could not say enough about everybody that's been here. I would not be doing this if it wasn't for you guys. If it wasn't for the community that's already come around, the guys that comment all the time and watch the videos as soon as they come out and, open and close, start to finish. You guys are what this is all about. And I am forever thankful for you guys. And I'm super excited about what's going to happen over the next year. I think we've got an incredible future ahead of us. I'm really excited to see what this channel can do. A lot of adventures ahead, my own personal stuff. And I really, really want to get involved in more community stuff. And I'm glad to have you guys all behind me. It's not just me out here. I might be the smiling bearded face, but it's you guys to make all this stuff possible. And I just want to say thank you guys so much. So thank you very, very much. From the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for Thanksgiving. I'm glad I got to share this with you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being here. Anybody who's watching this over on the replay, I appreciate you. Thanks for the watch time, by the way, guys. And I love you guys all. I'll see you on the next one. Probably won't be doing anything else this weekend, although I may sneak into the shop tomorrow to work on something if I get a chance to. And then I got Michigan versus Ohio State football on Saturday. So Dad and I are going to be sitting around eating fat guy food, watching football all day. So we'll see you next time, guys. I love you guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Happy Thanksgiving. If I didn't say it, happy Thanksgiving to you. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you, Lauren. Happy Thanksgiving. I appreciate you loving the channel.